Are you looking to self-publish your book but not really sure where you should be doing it? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 best publishing companies for books in 2020. Make sure you stay tuned. Hey, I'm Dale L. Roberts, a best-selling author as well as a self-publishing advocate who wants to show you how to publish books that sell. And if you want that too, of course, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also join me on twitch.tv/selfpublish every Monday at 12 p.m. If you subscribe for free with your Amazon Prime, you will get a few freebies in the process. Stick around to the end because I'm actually going to send you over to a great resource when it comes to some of these publishing companies and figuring out which one's going to work best for your needs. Let's get one thing right out the gate here. If you're looking at self-publishing and you're wondering, oh, should I do self-publishing or should I do traditional publishing? Might I tell you that whatever your preconceived notions are of self-publishing, they may be off, and especially if you're thinking about years past on how self-publishing is, because the modern day self-publishing model is completely different and it's more accessible than ever. It's one of the best ways to test yourself as an author and build a following before you even consider going for a traditional publishing deal. But there are so many options out there when it comes to publishing your books. Where do you start? Well, today I'm going to talk about 5 of the best publishing companies for books in 2020. And I'm going to talk about it in order of accessibility, features, royalty rate, and reach. Now, I'm not going to go too far in depth on each one of these platforms just because it gets so intricate. Again, you stay till the end. I'll send you to a resource where it'll tell you all those details. The very first one is Lulucom. Okay, so I'm going to cover some of the pros and cons when it comes to these things. And when it comes to Lulucom, they have so many freaking cool features. And one of the things I really liked about them is you're actually able to self-fulfill. So if for some reason you don't want to publish on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or through Ingram Content Group, you can actually integrate what's called Lulu Express with Shopify on your website. So that's one of the really cool pros of that. And I've actually looked at some of their print books and they're very good. They're stellar. Their glossy covers are just amazing. And even their, a lot of their quality of the paper and the printout is just wonderful. But the pros and cons when it comes to Lulu is the pros, they actually have a generous royalty rate when you do on-site fulfillment. So whether you're doing it through your website or through Lulu.com, you get a pretty darn good payout. In fact, better than any of the ones that I'm going to mention later. But the cons include there is no audiobook distribution yet. I'm sure knowing Lulu and the folks over there, they're probably thinking about some point or another integrating audiobook publishing, but for right now, it's not available, but at least you have ebook and print distribution. Number 2, Draft Digital. Now this company's actually been around for a while. They are a group of indie authors that are there for indie authors. So everything they put out is in the best interests of the indie author community. And I know a couple of the guys over at Draft Digital, they're fantastic. The crew is just good. And they're what's called an aggregate publishing company, meaning that they kind of play like a middleman. And they only collect a certain percentage of your net profits that come in. What they will do as an aggregate publishing company is they send it out to numerous avenues, including places like Amazon, Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Google Play, and the list goes on. The pros of having Draft Digital is they have wide distribution. And wide distribution means Amazon and all the alternatives. The cons include this, that they have print, but it's in beta at this moment. But they're going to eventually roll that out to everyone. And I anticipate that since they have your best interests at heart, there's a good reason why it's in beta, because they want to make sure that they break a few things before they make it public. And one thing I didn't mention is their integration with Findaway Voices. So you do still have audiobook distribution, it's just connected with another distributor. Number 3, Publish Drive. Publish Drive is somewhat in the same vein of Draft Digital in that they're an aggregate publisher, and they have the widest global reach when it comes to aggregate publishing. The big issue when it comes to Publish Drive, and they just recently changed their model, is they shifted from a revenue share model. In other words, they were playing as a middleman, and they would, collect a certain percentage of your net profits. Well, that's gone now. Instead, they have what's called a subscription model. So based on the number of publications you upload to Publish Drive, they will charge you on a monthly basis a subscription model. Again, you can get your first book for free uploaded there, and you collect 100% of all revenue that comes in from each one of the avenues. But as soon as you go past that first book, they're going to start to charge you on a monthly basis. The pros include worldwide distribution with 100% of your royalties coming in from each one of those regions. The cons include it's a subscription-based service, so essentially you're taking on all the risks. So you could publish hundreds of books through here and not make a hairy dime, but Publish Drive definitely will. Number 4, Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark is actually a relatively new company. They actually were put together through a larger umbrella company called Ingram Content Group, and they're actually known for distributing to various avenues, including brick and mortar stores. Now, if you've never heard of brick and mortar, essentially that means physical stores, like places like Barnes and Noble or mom and pop stores are able to actually purchase from Ingram Spark to put on their shelves your books. Now, the pros of having Ingram Spark includes it is the widest reach possible when it comes to print distribution, and they have brick and mortar distribution. So if you ever want to see your book on a shelf, then Ingram Spark is definitely your choice. The cons include there are upload fees. So if you want to upload your book, it's going to cost. And if you want to do any updates to your book, it's going to cost. And you have to bring your own ISBN. Now, there is an exception. If you are a US-based author, then you can get the free ISBNs that they have available there. And there are other ways that you can mitigate some of the upload fees. I talk about that again, I'll tell you a little bit later on this series. And of course, the most popular one, number 5, is Amazon KDP, otherwise known as Kindle Direct Publishing. This one is the easiest way and the simplest way and the direct path to getting featured on the online juggernaut known as Amazon.com and beyond. And I think everybody can agree they're bringing in the lion's share of publication profits, so why wouldn't you put your book onto the Amazon platform? Now, you could do that through places like Lulu, Draft the Digital, Publish Drive, and Ingram Spark if you wish to, but why go through a middleman when you can just go directly over to Amazon KDP and collect 100% of the profits, not to mention utilize what's called Amazon advertising, which integrates with your Amazon KDP dashboard. The pros of using Amazon, well, is you're going directly to Amazon. You're collecting all the profits from your things. And Amazon's a juggernaut. Why not partner yourself with this large platform, leverage that platform to grow an audience and bring them to wherever you go? The cons include no audiobook distribution yet. Now, Amazon owns a company called ACX, Audiobook Creation Exchange, but it's not integrated with KDP. That's why I don't bring that one specifically up. Again, I wanted to just give you a list of 5 of the best publishing companies for books in 2020. There are other avenues, some worth considering, but I actually talked about some of these distribution avenues in a deeper capacity through what I call the Self-Published Book Unboxing series. I actually ordered some of the print-on-demand books in this very next video series. You're going to go ahead and click on this video here and watch through some of these so you can find out more about royalty rates, distribution, quality of print, shipping, and so on and so forth. I'll see you in this next video.